Hey there, I've got a message that's important that I need to share with you. I was on social media recently, and a friend that I haven't talked to in a long time, and I guess I wouldn't say that we were very close friends, but I knew him through the community that I used to be a part of. Our lives since went separate ways. I knew him through like a bar scene. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I'm not involved with any of that craft beer world that I used to be a part of. But this guy I knew, he would come in, and when he lived in town here, he moved away since then. Our lives have changed a lot, I'm sure. And he moved off, and I haven't seen him in a while. And I follow people that I care about online, and he's one of those people that I've managed to follow up with from a long distance. We don't talk very often, and I've noticed some messages from him, and he's talking all kinds of dark stuff and despair. And I know that feeling of being completely in despair and feeling completely lost, feeling like hope is lost. And when you're in that situation where your world is turned upside down either by a heartbreak or a loss or just some kind of deep pain, betrayal, whatever it is, you get so blinded by the misery that you're in, it's hard to extricate yourself out of that situation. And I'm thinking about my friend and how I can give him wisdom and advice, and I know that I can't, because when I was in those situations through my medical health issues where, I was sick or had relationships that disintegrated right in front of me, or I felt betrayal, and I was just so blinded by the pain that I was going through that I wanted everything to burn around me, and I just wanted my life to fall apart. In fact, at one point I cried out to God that I didn't want to live anymore. I'm like, God, take my life. I don't want to be alive anymore. And I didn't heal from that situation. In fact, I put myself in another situation where I kept running from myself, and I kept going deeper in things to numb the pain. Well, fast forward to another year or so forward, and then I found myself actually getting into a worse situation. So sometimes you think your life is at the bottom and you go even further lower, and then after all of that happened, I lost my health. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and the person that I was having a relationship online with and I was planning on getting together with at some point, we'd never met, was still there for me. But I thought, I'm not worthy. I don't deserve love, and I'm just, who's going to want a person with chronic epilepsy and a brain tumor and has been through all this stuff? It's just I'm so toxic that I pushed that person away, and I pushed more people away from me, and I kept pushing people away, and I kept making myself the victim in my story. And yes, people did do wrong to me, but I also was not very discerning about the people that I allowed into my life. I had a lot of friends, but I had a lot of people that were very fair-weathered friends, and I was a fair-weathered friend to a lot of those people also. So the point is that you go through hell sometimes really hard, and you don't think you're going to make it. And the one thing that brought me back to feeling a semblance of joy to begin with was losing everything and then putting my faith in God. Because really, you can lose everything in this world. You can lose your relationships. You can lose your family. Your whole family could pass away. You could lose your kids even, and things that are unspeakable horrors in your life. You can lose all of your wealth. You could lose a person that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with. They could leave you, walk out on you, leave you for a friend. You can be the one that sabotages your own life, and then you feel even worse because you're the one that seemingly did it to yourself, and you realize that, and you don't know how to fix it, and it seems like there's no solution. But I can tell you that life is worth living. And no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you stumble, and no matter how many times you fall flat on your face, there's hope. There's hope. It's not worth taking your life, because why would you do that? And you might say, well, I just don't want to live like this anymore. It's all a matter of perspective. If God had answered my wish to take my life from me, and if I had taken my life, if I had done any of those things, I wouldn't be here today, leaving this message, offering you, whoever out here needs to hear this, my friend hopefully will hear this, or somebody in his shoes or someone like him will hear this message, that hope is never lost. I listened to a song by CeCe Winans that says, it's called Believe For It. And it says, I know that hope is never lost. Hope is never lost. If there's anything, like, you know that movie Dumb and Dumber, and I hate to use this example, but when they say, is there a chance? What's my chances? It's like 1 in a million. He's like, so there is a chance. Well, there is a chance, a great chance, especially when you have God in your corner. Now, if you don't have God in your corner and you're relying on a person, if you're relying on finances, if you're relying for anything of this world, of the flesh, that's the wrong thing to put your hope and trust in. Because believe me, believe somebody who's lost everything in their life seemingly at one point. I still have my parents, praise the Lord. But I know that what my hope is tethered to is not in this world. And I know that I have the capacity to change, and when I need healing and I need help, the best medicine that I have is to help somebody else. Because there's always somebody that has it worse. There's always somebody that needs and would die to have what you have. And I have to remind myself of that every day when I'm going through the darkest times in my life. And I may be going through more. Life, you go through a series of things that almost break you, and if you don't have a breakdown, then you will have a breakthrough at some point. So if you're out there and you're feeling lost and you need some kind of affirmation, you're going to get through it. I was at a point where I would complain to every person around me about how this person or that person had wronged me, how my heart was broken, how I had no money, I was living in a car. Those are the things that refine us. You're going through the refiner's fire. You're being molded. You're being sculpted by God. He has the final say. You might have this big ego and think that you're going to make the world, you're going to have control over the world, but you're not. God has a plan for you. Put your faith in God. Put your faith in Jesus. And some people don't want to hear that. They want to laugh at that. They want to scoff at that. Scoffers and mockers are not going to be there in paradise. And if you don't believe in anything, that still means you have faith in nothingness. So put your faith in God, y'all, and watch Him work in your life. It's not going to be easy. Easy is never promised. In fact, difficulty is promised at some point. It says in the Beatitudes, blessed are the brokenhearted. Blessed are the destitute. Blessed are those who suffer for their faith and convictions in the Lord. I hope this message offers somebody out there hope, because there is hope, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. Whether you can see it or not, it's there. So don't do something stupid that would hurt a lot of people. My brothers, my sisters out there. I've been through so much darkness that no one wanted to pick up the phone when I called, because I was just going to complain. I was just going to offer toxicity into the world. Right now I want you to offer hope for you, that there is a future for you, and God bless you. You're going to make it. Trust me, you're going to make it. And it's going to be so worth it when you come out on the other side of this, because God has a plan for you. That's my message. Take care. God bless you.